Hey YouTube, I'm here to show my video game finds for the July 4th weekend. Overall, a pretty good week I would say, given that garage sales weren't that many, but actually most of the garage sales I went to, I asked, and actually they actually brought some stuff out, so it was a pretty good week. Also with the week with Goodwill and Savers. So I'll get right into it. Goodwill had some sales on July 4th, so I went there. Also a few days before that I also went there as well. So for Goodwill, I went to three different Goodwills, so I'll show you what I got. The third one I went to is actually probably the cheapest one that has stuff. So for $3 a piece, I got NBA Street Volume 2 for the GameCube, Metal Gear Solid 4 for the PS3. They're all complete, really nice condition. Dragon Age Origins for the Xbox 360, and Fallout 3 for the Xbox 360. I also picked up one console there. Didn't have a price tag. Pretty much asked. One GameCube, nothing, no cords, nothing else, but she wanted $10. So I said okay, or they wanted $10. And I also picked up one more item, Wii remote, one of those smaller controllers. Also $10, a little bit pricey, but I thought I might need an extra one just in case, so I picked it up. So that was at one Goodwill. And then at the other Goodwills, I guess in the middle of the week, I picked up two games. A sealed copy of Little Big Planet for the PS3, not for a resale copy, which most likely came with the bundle. And then Shadow of the Colossus, in really nice condition for the PS2, both complete, obviously one sealed. And then on the July 4th day, I went back, they had this game, Ark the Lad, End of Darkness. Not a very expensive game. I thought it might be, but it wasn't. I only paid $5 for this one because the original was $6, and then they had a discount. And then at a different Goodwill, I picked up this game in the middle of the week for actually $6, a little bit pricey. Terminator 3, the Redemption for the GameCube. It is a over $10 game on eBay, and I've never actually. I think this may be the second copy I've seen. I've never seen it, I would say. I'm not sure if I've ever seen it, so I just picked it up. And then I picked this up on the July 4th, so that's only be $3. The only reason why I picked up Doom 3 for the Xbox was because when I opened it up, there was another game inside, so there was two games. And then the other game was obviously disc-only Dragon Ball Z Sagas for the Xbox. So for $3, I thought it was a pretty good deal for these two games. So that's everything I got at Goodwill. I thought it was a pretty good week for Goodwill. For the other places like Salvation Army, I only got one item. It's Me and My Katamari for $5. Probably worth how much I paid for it, but I thought I'd give it a try. And then also at Thrift Town, I went there, I think only one time this week. Picked up one item, Prince of Persia for the Wii. It is sealed, but I paid $8 for it. It actually is worth exactly $8, so probably not one of my better pickups. And then for Savers, I went there quite a few times, but I only got a few items. So for one of the Savers, there's actually two near my house. I got some PS1 games for $2 a piece. Medal of Honor, the Collector's Edition. Scrabble. And The Grinch. The Grinch, I don't know why it is so uncommon. I'm not saying uncommon, I would say some reason when I checked the pricing for Grinch it's over like $12, $13. I was surprised. And then finally The Sims for the PS2 for $3. So that was at one, whoops, there goes the pile, one Savers, and then the other Savers, I went there a few times, and I got a few items. Originally I picked this game up, Spyro the Dragon. It was originally marked $3, but eventually when I opened it up, it had a different game inside, and I was debating to either, buy this or not, just because, a black labeled case is hard to find. Even though the game inside is really crappy, but I picked it up anyway. The game was treasure hunt. I'm not, I didn't buy it for a Shrek treasure hunt. I really bought it for a really, really nice case of Spyro the Dragon Black Label. And then I picked up one DS game in the middle of the week. I think it was $3 or $4. I don't know what it is. It is a Japanese game. It has a chicken in the front, so I don't know what it is. I'll look it up, try to figure it out later. So that is everything I got at Savers. Not that much, I would say. I just got back, so I wasn't like rushing to go over there over and over again. So this week, because July 4th was on a Friday, there were Friday garage sales and Saturday garage sales. So I went out both on Friday and Saturday. Both days worked out to be really well, I would say. So Friday, there were a few garage sales. I think one posting said they had video game stuff, and everywhere else I went to did not have video games. But the one place that did have video games had actually quite a bit. But the only problem was I was the second person to be there. So the situation was kind of weird just because I let him go through everything first. And he saw what I picked up, and then he made a deal with him. Apparently he lived only down the street. So I bought some stuff from him like right after the deal I made with the guy at the garage sale. So for $60, I got a stack of games. Most of the games that the other guy in front of me picked up were mostly, because he sold at the flea market near my house, they gotta be like recognizable titles. I guess you would say like Mario titles. So very, very popular titles. The ones that are harder to sell apparently at this flea market are more obscure names. And the price this guy was giving at garage sale was a little bit high, so he passed on quite a bit of PlayStation stuff or Sony stuff. So that's what I got mostly for $60. So but they're all in nice condition. Some of them were disc only, and I gotta say I wish they were not, because the disc only games some of them were a little bit rarer than the others. So I got the Sims for PSP, Little Big Planet, Patapon, should have probably passed on Patapon, and Loco Roco. Also a game I probably should not have picked up because they only were like $5-6. And then another Sims, The Sims 2 for the PlayStation 2. So those were the PlayStation games, or PS2, PSP games. I also got some PlayStation 1 games. Originally, he had like 2 PlayStations. I don't know why he had so many. Originally he had a bunch of empty cases, but then I realized he had a binder on the side that held the games. So the games I got for the PlayStation are really, really nice condition. Resident Evil 2. Everything's inside, real nice condition. And then the really hard to find one is Resident Evil, the Black Label. I would say pretty hard to find, mostly in this condition, the original Resident Evil. And then, like I said, he had some disc-only games. I even asked if he had the cases, but he said he didn't. So, 2 copies of Tomb Raider 2. I don't know why he had 2. And then Resident Evil Director's Cut, Twisted Metal 2, Jurassic Park: The Lost World, Mortal Kombat 3, and then finally, I really, really wish he had the case, but he didn't. Really hard game, or I guess rare, uncommon game, Diablo for the PlayStation. I mean, the disc inside actually, very, very few scratches inside. So, really happy to pick up that. And then he also had a Game Gear lot, which I passed on, and a Game Boy lot. I'm missing one other game for the PlayStation, sorry, because it's just not in the pile because it's a long box game. The original Twisted Metal for the PlayStation long box edition. I mean, the long box is really nice condition, I would say. And like I said, he had a Game Gear. I passed on it because he wanted $40 and some games, which I don't know like what are the uncommon or rare games for the Game Gear, so I didn't really pick that up. And then he had a Game Boy lot with the original Game Boy. And like I said, someone else was there before me, and I just let him go through it first. And I pretty much went through the leftover stuff. Most likely that guy picked up a few Mario titles. So the 2 that I picked up from him were Metroid 2. And finally, this was actually in the Game Boy. I think this guy might have missed it, but I don't think it's very expensive game. Fortress of Fear. I've never seen it before, so I thought I'd just give it a try and pick this one up and see if it's any good or not. So that's everything I got for $60. When I was done with the purchase and the other guy next to me was done with his, the guy's like, "You collect games?" I said, "Yeah." He's like, "I live right down the street. I sell at the flea market. I'm trying to get rid of this lot of games with console." And I was like, "You know what? I'll just go over and see what he has." So for $40, I got a Sony PlayStation 2. It came with all the cords, 2 controllers, 2 really nice controllers too, in nice condition. Apparently he said he tried to sell it on a flea market. Couldn't sell it. Tried Craigslist, and I was just there. So he's like, if you want it, $40, I could take it. He says it works. I haven't tested it. Most likely it does work. And then a stack of PS2 and PS1 games. Real reason why I bought this was, I thought, I could trade this in to my used video game store. Each came for like $2 a piece. And given the number of games he gave me, I could definitely make my money back on this. So, Twisted Metal Black, the only game that's disc only. And then Siphon Filter 2. Monopoly. Championship Motocross. Missing Instructions. Battle Stations. Jimmy White's 2 Cue Ball. Grudge Warriors. Big Ol' Bass. I don't know if that was a war. Gran Turismo. And finally, Ace Combat 3 for the PlayStation. So those are all the PlayStation games he threw in. And then the PlayStation 2 games. RC Revenge Pro. MDK 2. Spy Hunter, Gran Turismo 3, Midway Arcade Treasures 2. I don't think this is an actual game, just Ultimate Coach for the Grand Theft Auto. State of Emergency, Unreal Tournament, Oni, finally Dark Angel. None of these titles, were that. I don't think many of those games were those are all probably like $5, $6 games, or even less than that. Obviously he sells at the flea market, so I thought, just take these games, trade these in, and get something else better than what I paid for. Most likely this person or the used video game store might give me $40 for all those games, so, and then I sell the console for $40. I'll definitely make my money's worth out of that. So that was everything on Friday. Overall, really good. I would say mostly given, Diablo was a really hard game to find. So Saturday actually went really well early on. Near the end, did not. Just a little bit. There weren't that many postings to begin with, so I tried to hit most of the garage sale postings on Craigslist. So the very first place I got, really, really dirty. I cleaned this up in N64. Only issue is the reset button stuck. I have a feeling it doesn't work at all. Paid $20. But he threw in a bunch of peripherals, so that's why I kind of said, I'll grab it. Really, really dirty controller. It's supposed to be atomic purple. I have a feeling I opened this one up. It may or may not work. Same with the other atomic purple controller they had. They said they had a garage sale the week before. They sold all the games. And then a blue one, but when you shake it up, it looks like there's something inside. I don't know what happened. They said it was been sitting in storage for a very long time. But I might open it up, clean it up, and maybe it might work, so it'd be good. But they threw in a bunch of extra stuff, unrelated. 2 Wii nunchucks, which I needed, and another Wii remote controller, which, they just threw it in. So I thought, for $20, not a bad deal. So that was the very first garage sale. And then, I think I had to ask them, but, they're about to pull it out anyway. So the second place I went to, there was some CDs sitting on the table, and then they had this at the very bottom. Mario and Luigi's Bowser's Inside Story. But I opened it up, and it had nothing inside, except, the instructions and the points. So hopefully the points work. And I pretty much asked, there was a kid, I said, do you have the game for this? He's like, I might have it. Might have some other games that you might want to get rid of. So he went in the house and he got 2 more games and another item for the DS. And eventually I only paid $6. He even ran it with his mom, like, is this a fair price? She said yes for him. And I was a little surprised that they agreed. But for $6, I got Pokemon Diamond version and Pokemon Platinum version. And then finally, he said he used this quite often, but he had an extra one, an action replay for the DS. He says it works. He said he recently used it for one of the Pokemon games. I don't know why you need it for the Pokemon games, but really good deal. Second garage sale for only $6. So after that, I went to a few other more garage sales. Trying to remember the order, but I think I'm going to go out of order here. I think one of the garage sales, I think none of the listings had video games, so I pretty much had to ask for quite a few places. There was this one old couple, and then I asked, and they said they'd check with their son. The son pulled out a few PS2 games, so I picked up 3 games for $10. Star Wars Battlefront, Namco Museum, probably should have passed on this one, and Grand Theft Auto San Andreas. So 3 games for $10. And then another one, which was a multi-sale. Asked again, and they said he'd pull out a few PS3 games. This one, I probably should have passed on all of these. I just find it awkward, you ask some guy, and then he spends, 5-10 minutes inside looking, and you're like, I don't want any of these. But picked up 3 PS3 games for $15. Residence, Fall of Man, Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2, and Call of Duty Modern Warfare. I probably should have just picked up this one, left the other 2 behind. So that is pretty much kind of the random finds I picked up. There's a few other pickups I got. This one, it didn't seem like they're going to have any video game stuff, but then they're still pulling more and more stuff out. Eventually they had this box with this one item in it. Originally they wanted $75 for everything. I worked them down to $60. Still a little bit pricey for this console, I would say, but it was in the box, so that's why I kind of went for it. It's like a Dreamcast. Came with the original box instructions and stuff like that. So it also came with 1 controller, and then all the cables, and then a stack of games for $60. That was pretty much what I was debating. If the games were really worth, $40-$50, because the console's really not that much. So the games I got, I'll show you the first stuff that always comes with the Dreamcast. Web Browser 2.0. I don't know what they were thinking when they designed that. NFL 2K1, I think it comes with everything on Dreamcast. And then Dreamcast Generator Volume 2, just a bunch of samples of the game. And then I'll go through, I guess, the better quality games. Metropolis Street Racer. The reason why I also picked this up, because all these games were really, really nice condition. House of the Dead 2. And I rarely find Dreamcast games. Sega Rally Championship 2. Quake 3 Arena. A sealed copy of NHL 2K. But there's something in the back. I don't know what this is. If someone knows, let me know. I don't know if it's like a demo or something else. Finally, the best game out of the lot. Really good condition of, I think I'm saying this right, Shinumi for the Dreamcast. Really nice condition. Came with everything. I mean, even every single one of these came with this little white thing. I mean, this is something you'd usually throw out, but all the discs have this. So I was really hard pressed not to buy this lot, even though it was $60. Alright, so when I bought the Dreamcast lot, there was actually, she said there was 2 controllers. I couldn't find the other controller. I thought she meant another regular controller, but she meant actually this controller. She threw in a Dreamcast Blaster. Not sure what game you would play this for. Actually, it says right there, House of the Dead 2. So she threw this in, or not threw it in, it was part of the bundle. There's actually one other item I missed at Goodwill. Bought this on the July 4th because it was discounted. I saw it in the middle of the week, but they wanted, I think, 30. So I paid 20 for this. Another PS2 in the box, though. No controllers, though, but all the cords were in there. I haven't anticipated that, but for 20, I thought it was a good deal. So there's a few other garage sales I went to, and only 2 of them actually had video game stuff. One of them I probably should have showed up earlier too, but I missed out. So I guess this is actually after 10 o'clock. This plus a few other games were sitting on like the floor, and I had a feeling no one video game wise picked it up because they only wanted $1 for this Final Fantasy X. I mean, it's not a very expensive game, but the other game that they had that I really wanted was a PlayStation game, PlayStation 1. He had Enander on the floor. I was trying to negotiate with him, but he just would not go down on his price. He wanted $50 for that game. He kept saying you could sell it for $80 or $90, but he was dead wrong. I think it's a $50 game, so I pretty much wanted exactly how much it's worth. So the very last pickup I found is 11 o'clock garage sale, 11 o'clock starting garage sale, and I probably should have showed up early, but I was kind of like, nothing's going to be there. But I picked up a black Wii for $50, a little bit pricey. I've never seen the black Wii at a garage sale, so I was like, let's just give it a try. It did come with 2 controllers and 2 nunchucks. And then one game, I asked them if they had more games, but they only had, well, the thing was, they said they had a bunch of games, but someone came right before me and bought them all. So the one game they left me behind, I guess, obviously, We Sing Pop. I think the reason why they only left it there is just because they came with 2 microphones and they probably wanted to bundle it with the Wii lot. So I got We Sing Pop. I don't know what I'm going to do with that. I just trade it in or try to sell it with the microphones. So that is everything I got this week. Pretty good week, I would say. Thank you for watching by a long video, given that even though it was a long weekend, I wasn't expecting that much stuff. So thank you for watching, and I will see you next week. See ya.